Hello. I'm here because I received a guidance maybe a week ago to share my story. And it's not new. It's something I've been feeling and receiving as guidance for a while, but there is something that just didn't let me do it. But now I see how important it is, not only for me, also for me, because it's a way to look back and to see where I come from and everything I was able to create and change in my life. So there is that, but it's also important for you, for others to be inspired and to see that it is possible. So I'm gonna do a few videos. My idea is to do a chronological story. And I guess where I'm gonna start today is my childhood. Who was I as a child and what happened in my childhood? So I was born in the south of France. I had a little brother 2 years younger. And then when I was 5, my parents decided to move to the north of France, northwest. And so that's where I grew up. And what I don't remember much from my early years. But I had a very close relationship with my brother. We would play a lot together. I was the protective older sister, and I just like to teach him to do things. My dad was working. He was a dentist, so he would work a lot during the week, and my mom was working with him, so we would spend a lot of time at school. After school, we would stay there and play, and I have good memories. I didn't even want to go home at 7 p.m. or 6. And Wednesday we didn't have school. Someone would come and look after us. But I don't feel I was missing my parents or asking for my attention. I think they did a really good job with that, because on the weekends we would spend family time, and it was our time, and we would be all together and have fun and go on adventures with my dad and go cycle or explore, go and walk in the woods. That was like the kind of time I had with my dad. And my mom was more not so adventurous. She would stay home, take care of the house, cook, and that's the relationship I had with my parents and my brother. And then my dad got sick, and I think it was sick for, it's hard to have an idea because I was a child, but for sure it was at least 2 years. He had a cancer, prostate cancer. So I'm not sure how I was told this, but I just remember knowing that it was bad. And I think I was already a shy child. My brother was the extrovert. And at this time, at school, there was something like not right with the group of friends I was always with. Something happened, I'm not sure why. And I was just not liking like the way someone in particular was treating someone else. And stuff happened, and I heard very cruel thing that I think I erased from my memory for a while, and when I started to do healing, I remembered someone telling me, even if your dad dies, we won't be friends with you anymore. So there was this weird thing, like how a child can say this. And that's because I had left this group of friends, that there was something that was just not resonating with me, that I was not liking, was not feeling good to me. So I decided to separate, and then I received this thing. I ended up going back to the group and be part of the group again, but it was weird. It was a difficult time, and I guess I was scared. And when this happened, you don't know what to expect. I was between 9 and 11. And as a child, well, at least I didn't want to accept it. I was angry. I think I was angry at my dad. Because it was like, how are we supposed to live without you? That's why I have to share my story. Because there is still a lot there. But I didn't say anything. Because I was shy and I was an introvert. I'm still. But I was not taught how to talk about my emotions. We were not talking about it. I don't remember any conversation. So I don't even know how I knew. Probably my mom said something, but we were not really talking about what it meant, how do you feel, you know? I think each one of us was dealing with the situation the best it could, but internally, and probably repressing a lot, because it was too hard to feel the pain and the fear. So that's how, I experienced this. And then my father passed away I couldn't talk to him before. I didn't want to accept this reality. But it happened, and I think that from that day, what I experienced with hypnotherapy and Reiki healing is I could remember, I could feel how my spirit was being kept away from me, from my body and my emotions. So that's why I grew up without any spirituality, I couldn't connect to any spirituality, to the idea of having a spirit, having a soul, because it was out there. And me, I had like an armor, I think it's the word in English. And I really felt this in hypnotherapy. I remember this feeling very, very uncomfortable of being like steel, so cold and rigid. I had no access to my emotions because there was so much pain stored there. And as a teenager, I was very sad. I was hopeless. I had very difficult years, and I'm gonna share this on YouTube. You can see the full video if you want to hear that. And for you to know that the pain that we hold and we have experienced, even you see if it still hurts to think and remember, the more I talk about it, the more I do healing about it, the more I can let go, and the more I can rise, and the more I can be in my power, and I can live a life of purpose, and I can be out there and inspire others to do the healing and to say, you know what, I know you're scared and I know you don't want to go there, but what I also know is that if you do decide to go there, what is gonna open for you and the new way of living that you are going to learn and to choose is much more satisfying, because you can be you can be entirely yourself, with your fears, with your pain, with everything that made you who you are today. And they are just words, but it's very significant when you live your life and you can be true to yourself, and you can see also that it's not all you, it's also a lot of what you've inherited from your family and your family story. And it is not serving you to say, but I'm okay, or I don't need to talk about it, I'm okay now, I'm this successful woman. It doesn't mean anything to have a career, to be successful, to feel independent, if within you, in your heart, there is this pain and suffering and you never allowed it to come out, because someday it's not going to be enough to be this successful businesswoman. So I encourage you to find a safe space and someone that makes you feel safe and protected, where you can open up, and this person is gonna hold your hand while you go there deep, and it's gonna be okay, and it's gonna be beautiful, and you're gonna receive a lot of peace, you're gonna release a lot, you're gonna feel much better, and you're gonna find meaning. I love you, and I see you in the next video, next part of my story.